find to see the world alone. If only I could see the world alone. 'Cause I'm going up in flames, I'm leaving for the sky. 'Cause I'm going up in flames, a fracture in the night. The night, a fracture in the night. 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 I'm up in flames tonight. I'm going up in flames. I'm leaving for the sky. 'Cause I'm going up in flames. A fracture in the night.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another fun-filled
that's-
episode
That's not Ben sitting next to
of
you.
RaceDayTV, the live show. Nothing like throwing me right off my game. I almost called this Inside NASCAR there again for a second. Ben got smaller. What up?
What's going on?
We got Mike over
Hey,
here.
What's up?
Case Call.
How's it going?
What's going on, man?
Not too much. Just trying to get ready for the season this year. How are you?
Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Well,
So-
I'm glad you could make it down.
So what are we going to talk about? We're going to sit here and just like,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's talk pro stock
I think
stuff.
we should talk racing tonight.
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I love that comment that I saw online. He was
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
talk like race cars.
Well, sometimes the show gets derailed. And listen, guys, this time of the year, it's hard. It's hard to get guys to come down. So we do the best we can. So
But yeah, getting ready for the season. So what are your plans?
Well, this year we're gonna run the Grain Estate Tour again because going into some new tracks like Autodrome, Chaudière, that looks like a lot of fun to go to. Gonna try and run a few select pass races. I think mainly just the star races, just because I like star, and gonna run a lot of lead. Just keep it local. But got 2 cars this year, so we're gonna try and nail out a bunch of wins, and got our eyes really on the 30K to win. So
Yep.
nothing crazy for this year, but hopefully in the off season we'll
That's
get
enough.
some stuff down.
a lot of guys don't realize how much time, effort, and work it is to run these cars now. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's a by far. Everybody works on their shit hard. We all
Right.
know that. But
Right.
It's-
Absolutely. Yeah. No. Like my old man, he gets home from work and he's out in the shop until lately it's been 9:30 at night every night, and
oh, that's early.
he gets home at 3:30 and he's out there till like 9:30.
So yeah, that's.
I mean,
he's
taking-
putting 6 hours. He's putting another 6 hours.
Yeah,
in.
he took off a few days just to have full days working out in the shop trying to get both cars ready because we're scrambling. Like we're waiting on our motor for our black car.
Yeah.
Our white car is pretty much ready to go. We're also waiting on shocks. Those are down south right now getting rebuilt. But yeah, it's been a scramble dealing with getting decals made up and who's going to install them. Probably my old man because that's what he does now. Keep costs down.
Yeah. Now, Hamke cars, Port City car. I fill me. I don't even know what you have anymore.
I got a Port City Phase 2. That's the white car.
That's the white car.
My
Yep.
black cars was the blue car, so the Port City Gen 19.
Okay,
so
so
the
you
car
got-
that we got from Mickey Green.
Yep. Okay.
I mean, the Phase 2 and the Hamke are pretty much the same thing now. So
Yeah. Nice. So, where did you start? Where when you first started doing all this? How old are you now?
I'm 21 years old now.
So you're still just a kid.
Yeah.
Holy shit! God damn.
How many years have you been racing?
I'm not too great at math, but I've been doing it since I was 4. So whatever that is, there, 15 years, 16, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, about there. Sure.
Yeah.
I'm a Steven, so my math is not that great.
No, I started. There was a little go-kart track in Pembroke.
Sure.
Right down the road from us. It was called Route 106 Race Park.
Actually, I keep hearing rumors they're going to open that back up this year.
No,
It's not gonna happen?
So Dick Kruger, he sponsored me for a long, long time, like since I was in quarter midgets when I was 4 years old.
Yeah.
He sold it to a sand and gravel pit company because there's huge money out back in a sand and gravel pit. There was a go-kart track, there was a hobby store for RC cars, and then there was a sand pit. And so he ran like an excavation company and a sand pit company out of there. And it started going downhill. Like go-kart racing ain't the same as it was. So he decided to sell off to a company from Mass or something like that. And they got in some legal issues with some dirt bike riders that got hurt and they got sued apparently. So they want nothing to do with racing whatsoever. I'll be surprised if they do. I don't know.
Track's still all there, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. It's overgrown.
Yeah.
I mean, I pass it all the time. So.
All right, we got sidetracked a little bit. So.
Yeah. Well, I started there regardless.
Yeah.
We just went in one night. I remember we went and watched the racing, and so my dad picked me up a quarter midget, and I actually ran it around the yard a bunch. He wanted me to run it around the yard on slicks so I could get used to spinning out and like trying to control it and stuff. And so I spent quite some time doing that, and then we decided to go to the track. And if I remember correctly, my first race, I went head on into the wall.
Yeah.
And destroyed that car. So Dick Kruger. I think that I don't remember exactly because I was so little, but I'm pretty sure he gave us the kart chassis at like a discounted rate or something like that. And so that was the rest of the season. I went on to win the championship that year, won a few races.
Yeah.
And then from there on, I just started going up the ranks in the go-kart series there.
Yeah, cool.
Yep.
So when did you make the change to what did you do after carts?
I did Bandoleros. So
Did Bandos,
Yeah,
Legend
so
cars,
that was-
some Legend cars after that?
yeah, I did Bandoleros when I think it was 8 or something like that. And Dick Kruger had
Yeah.
a Bandolero car.
Yeah.
And he gave it to us.
Yeah, where did you run that?
New Hampshire Motor Speedway, and then Londonderry did them for a little bit, but then we started traveling.
Okay.
So like they started touring to Star, which was cool. That was they have restrictor plates on them now. They didn't have restrictor plates on them
you
then.
guys
Oh, that's pretty
Oh,
scary
wow.
shit.
I was flat.
Yeah.
I was full throttle at Star in a Bandolero, and that was cool. That was
Yeah.
that was fast. But we went down to Charlotte, Georgia, went
Yeah.
down to Atlanta, Orlando Speed World, New York. I don't know. We went all over the place.
So
with
you're
that
used to traveling. So when you go
Yeah.
Granite State racing and you got to travel 3 or 4 hours, it's
that's nothing.
That's
nothing.
normal.
I mean,
Yeah.
we used to drive to Florida every year in February to run Winter National.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then when I got in the Legend car, we did the same thing. North Carolina, Florida. We never went to New York with that one. We just really did North Carolina and Florida.
How long did you run the Legend cars?
4 years. I did
4
4
years?
years in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my dad, his mindset behind it was keep me in the car until I'm winning races consistently, keeping fenders on it. I mean, we kept that body on it for 4 years. Actually, I'm pretty sure that was the same body. We might have changed it one time, but like we had the same fenders on it for like 2 years.
Did you ever run any of the national stuff with the Legends for points or anything
we
like that?
competed my last year. We competed for pro national points.
Yeah.
But part failure on the last restart when we were in third.
Yeah. Well, that happens.
Yeah, the shifter shaft stripped out and got drove over from behind on the restart.
So how old were you when you went from Legend cars to what? Right to pro
Right
stock?
to pro stock.
Right
yeah.
to pro stock.
Yeah, we were talking. We were like, oh, let's go act racing or something like that. My dad's like, no, let's just go to the hard stuff right away. Let's just like
So that
deal with all that.
I'm guessing that must have been 19 or 20.
I was 17.
So 4 years ago.
Yep. Yeah, because 17. Yeah, right around there.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
we transferred my last year. My last year was 2019 in the
So
Legend cars,
your
so.
first year in pro stock racing was COVID year?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so it was it was COVID year.
Yeah, where
okay.
we were going down to Waterford and everything like that. That was my first year. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the first thing I remember, we were talking about this earlier, we had an open practice day at Claremont, and Casey came up, with I didn't know any of these guys or anything, and he just a young kid. I said, oh God. So I was watching Casey go out there and practice, and he picked it up pretty quick. He was going well, and the second or the third time he went out, he rolled up on 2 or 3 cars, and that was it. He lifted. He was there to practice. He wasn't there to race. And that, I went over to his dad afterwards and said, hey, said, the kid's smart. He did what he was supposed to do during practice. We're not racing. you know, and he didn't put himself in any bad situations in practice that didn't mean anything.
Right.
And that's how I seen you progress over the last 2 years,
Learn
3
how
years.
to keep fenders on it and save tires.
Save
and
tires,
Not burn
learn-
them off
learn-
in the first 40 laps.
You know, and you know, for what it's
Yeah, it
worth,
happens.
you've done really, really well. So
Thank you. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, that first year was definitely a learning experience. The cars, honestly, the cars aren't hard to drive. They're very, very easy to drive until they're handling. Then they're a handful.
It's funny that you said that because I've always told people the more you move up, as long as the car handles, the easier they are to drive.
Right, absolutely. And like coming from legend cars, you know, those things, I mean, my car, the way our car was set up, it was not loose at all. It was just always tight. So I never really dealt with car control with that because it was just put your foot to the floor and go, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so once I got in the pro stock, then I had to really learn how to, you know, save tire and everything else.
Yeah.
And that was new to me, running 100 laps, 150 laps, going from 25 laps, you know, to that was quite the jump. So
Yeah.
I remember my first race, I started like fourth or second or something like that. I don't remember. Oh, it was second because of the invert. I started outside pole. And I remember running with Joey Dwyer, and I'm like, oh, this ain't that bad. And then like lap 40 rolls around. I'm like, man, he's going really hard. and at the time we had TJ Laro spotting for us. And I think he was getting overexcited too. And he was like, yeah, just stay with him. And I'm like, man, I can't. Like next thing you know, my right rear is just gone. It was so hot. It felt like I was racing on, you know, just ice. It was bad. And I'm like trying to recover. And I remember I almost wrecked it by myself down the front stretch just because I was so loose off of the turn. And from that point on, I was like, all right, cannot do that again.
Yeah.
That was not good.
So you won the Granite State Championship last year by what, 1 point, 2
Yeah, it was
points,
one.
whatever
Yeah.
it was. It was 1 point.
I'll be honest with you, like for that whole ordeal, like I wasn't even focused on points because we just got the new car. I just wanted to run good in that new car.
Yeah.
You know, because that was even though it's Port City,
Yeah.
different from the
It's
old
different,
car.
yeah.
Way different.
Yeah.
So like we had to go do a pull down with Shane Tash and all this other stuff to get it figured out before that. Right, there was a lot wrong with it in
Yeah.
that pull down from
Yeah.
the previous owners, and so we got it all figured out. We went testing and it was really good. Then we showed up on Friday for the practice and it was really good.
Yeah.
And I mean, even then we had shocks that were set up for like a Fury car and everything.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even close.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's good. You know, so what are your plans for the coming season?
Just honestly, just stay local. Like
Stay local.
run Granite State.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna run the whole Granite. It's fun.
Yeah.
Run the 2 pass races at Star. Maybe something else if it's available. I think we wanted to go try White Mountain.
Yeah. Are you gonna run some Friday night stuff at Lee?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just it's close to home.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what the deal is for the year, but if it's the 2 tire thing again, I mean you can't beat that.
Yeah.
You cannot beat that.
Yeah.
I mean, that was fun. I remember the first year you guys did that whole 2 tire twin 40s. That was awesome racing.
Yep.
Every race was awesome. It was just hard racing, and there was never a repeat winner.
Yeah, I think I've tossed back and forth on if I'm going to go full time back to doing that, if we're going to do, you know, mix it up on some of the
Yeah.
nights, but I would
Well,
definitely.
that's like what Beach Ridge
incorporate
did.
that.
Beach Ridge mixed it up, and it was awesome.
And when we did that, the racing was really good.
Yeah.
Because you had 40 laps. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Well, you
gotta
gotta
go.
push.
Yeah.
Right? Either you push in the first one and win it and push really hard in the second one, or you save a little bit in the first one and try and win the second one.
Right.
You know, and either way, the payout's actually pretty decent. So it's like you make out, if you win, you make out very well because you're only buying 2 tires.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's the thing we look
That's
at.
the whole key. That's the whole key for that.
You gotta keep it, you know, realistic.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of races down south. There's like prime example, Snowball Derby. I mean, everybody wants to go run the Snowball Derby. Everyone wants to win the Snowball Derby.
Until you look at the money it costs.
Well, you're
you
spending
to go.
$20,000 on tires.
Tires
like
alone.
That. And then
Yeah.
never mind fuel, travel expenses, finding a house to stay at. Yeah, it's $50,000 to win this past year, but you're spending almost that to
That's
go
right.
race it.
Yeah.
And then potentially not even make the show on your first shot. It's like it's
That's insane.
right. It's kind of pointless.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's why I started searching the avenue of talking to Donnie Wilson about getting a car ride from Wilson or Fathead or something like that, but it's almost $80,000.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Not a lot of people really know all that stuff.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it's-
And it's, I mean, but it's $80,000. You're guaranteed. Oh well, I say guaranteed, but the cars are always fast, no matter what.
Yeah.
You know, those cars. I mean, this past year they didn't win it, but they were still up front.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're guaranteed a good car for that $80,000. But
I would hope.
right. Yeah.
That's
That would
insane
not be
to me.
fun if
It's
you
just-
spend that much money, go down there and run around in the back. So, I don't know. We were, yeah.
Somebody had that rental down there this year. They ended up stripping the wrap off of it and putting somebody
That
else
was
in the
about-
No,
car.
that, was
that
a
was-
diff-
that
that
was-
wasn't a Wilson car.
That was
that
one of
was-
the fat
that
head
was-
cars.
yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the. I don't know what happened with that. I think they got mad that the kid. I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
I don't know.
who
But
knows?
Augie
Something
Grill
was
got in
odd
that-
there, though.
Augie Grill got in that car and made it work until it didn't. You know.
That's right.
You know,
So let's go back to, because I think people want to hear about this. So you just talk about the learning curve you went through in your first year in 2020. So then you fast forward into, I think it was June or July of 21.
Yeah.
oh, that's
And
right.
you go out there for the Keen Parts
So-
150.
So the biggest turning point for that night was having Shane Tesh there. You know, my dad, pretty stubborn dude, wants to figure it out on his own. But at this point with these cars, unless you already know stuff,
You need help.
you need help. You're not going to, it'll take you a while to figure it out on your own.
Right.
You know, there's so much going on with these cars, especially the Port City car. There's a lot going on with
Well,
that.
I mean, a lot of it too. It will go back to, all right, do you pay a guy to come for a weekend,
Right.
Or do you go and spend the money on tires for the next 4 weekends to figure
Bingo.
out what you're
Well,
going to do in that one
that was
time?
the thing. So I was on the verge. We were talking. I mean, honestly, I was on the verge of giving up. I was on the verge of quitting, packing it up, and that was it. And I actually that year, I was getting really upset with myself, thinking it was me, not the car. So I rented a Legend car. I was like, if I can't do it in a Legend car, I'm washed up. So I got in a Legend car, and I was fast, and I was good. And I was like, all right, so it's not me, it's the car.
Yeah.
And that night, I remember we were so bad first round of practice, so bad. We had the shocks, the sway bars out of the thing, and I remember it was I don't remember. I think it was Moore that was parked next to us. They're all looking at us. We're like we're idiots. You know, everything's apart on this car, and we just threw the kitchen sink at it. Went out for the next round of practice, and it was like okay. Went out and qualified fourth and redrew the pole, and I was like, man, we got a pretty solid piece right now. Like this is my shot to win it. And Shane was on the radio, basically coaching me the whole race because Shane's doesn't just know how to set up a car. Like that guy is actually so smart. It's insane. Like he knows racecraft and everything. And he never even sat in a race car to drive one in a test session, you know?
Yeah.
And I remember he was just running me through everything, what to do under yellow with the tires and everything. And I learned a lot that night. And I remember he said to me, he was like, lap 121, I think it was. He was like, I don't remember what he said. Basically, my lap time to his, he was like, pick it up a little bit. And I remember I picked up like 4 or 5 tenths that next lap because I was just riding.
Yeah.
And he was like, all right, you can back it down quite a bit. Like that, I mean, holy cow. So I knew right then and there on lap 120, we had a really good shot at it. And then that final restart, I remember I pushed really, really hard because I knew Reddick was coming. He saved a lot.
Yeah.
He saved too much to the point where he wouldn't have had a shot if that last yellow didn't come out. And man, he got under me because I got loose out of two. Well, apparently he got into me. I never knew that up until like I saw the video afterwards, which I don't care, you know. And I just remember hearing TJ on the radio screaming at me, "Lay it on his door, lay it on his door!" And
Damn spotters.
yeah, oh, he was yelling, and we come out of 4, and I knew I won. I saw his nose at my door, so
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
at that point I was like, it was such a relief. Like I was almost getting emotional in the car because it was
I'm sure.
honestly not a lot of people. I'm sure you know because you've raced, but like us racers, we get hard on ourselves, more harder on ourselves than we get hard on our team or anyone else. We're very brutal to ourselves, and we like pick ourselves apart, you know. And that's what I was doing since we got that car, which was that race was 22. So
22,
21,
okay.
the whole year of 21, we couldn't even get a good finish.
Yeah.
Couldn't even get a good finish, and I was.
So that by far has to be your biggest win.
Yeah, absolutely. And it wasn't even the fact that I could care less that it was 10,000 to win,
Yeah.
or that I beat Tyler Reddick. It was like I finally won a race, you know,
Yeah. Was that your first win?
in the pro stocks.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a great one to win,
Yeah.
too.
Okay.
That was my
I
first
guess
one.
finish too.
I guess I knew it at the time,
Yeah,
but
yeah, that was my first one in the pro stocks.
Yeah.
And then from there on,
Picked
it was
a good one to do it
right.
at,
And then
yeah.
from there on, it was like learning aero and stuff with that body and everything. And then it snowballed. We started running good every week and killing
everybody laughs when you talk about aero on a short track, but
it is crazy the difference.
Crazy.
I will never go back to the old that new body style. I mean,
Yeah.
I will never do it again because I don't know how Joey Dwyron does it. I'll be honest.
What's that, the Gen 6 body?
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't know if it's the Mustang nose or what it is, but in traffic, that thing is so tight.
Try a Toyota.
Yeah, no. So we're all back to the old body style for this year on both cars.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I'm ready to go.
We're
So
ready.
What's the game plan for the 30 grand? You guys got a whole game board set up, ready to go, or just
Nope.
Just like a
gonna
Friday
have
night race?
Me and our 3-man crew, 4-man crew show up. There it's me, my dad, probably Floyd, one of our sponsors, and because he loves coming and helping out. Maybe a few other people that if they want to come help, but other than that, it's really just. Oh, I think Shane's coming for that one. We do have Shane for that one.
Use the Granite State race the end of April as a
absolutely.
solid test
Absolutely.
for the 30G to 1 race.
That Friday practice, we're like the 19th.
Yeah.
We're gonna bring both cars with us.
Yeah.
Just because.
for the 2-hour block?
Yeah, we got it. We have to. It's like I want to know which one's better. I have a feeling this black one's gonna be very good. Very, very good car.
Now you're going to favor one car more than the other, or is it whatever one feels the best?
I don't know. I'll be honest. That white car felt really, really good the last race of the year for how far off it truly was. Like, it was fast, but it was off still. Had the wrong shocks in it. Still didn't have a correct setup in it. But, the black car is just consistent. It's just fast everywhere. And the thing I like about having the Port City cars is everybody up here said you'll never get it to go.
Well, like when we go to 95, stay out of the sandbank.
Well, I'd love to do that if my trailing arm doesn't break again, I'm thinking we'll throw you in one car this year.
Nope. I keep on
Oh,
telling you.
yes.
Who
I
wants
vote
to see
yes.
Mike Parks
Yes,
drive again?
I vote yes. Everybody in chat, let us know. I vote yes.
I think we should put Mike Parks back
The
behind the wheel.
return
Casey's-
of Uncle Mike.
Casey's asked me a bunch of different times when he's come up to practice.
He won't even do it.
He says, nope, because it will cost me $100 grand when I'm done. I'm good right where I'm at.
No.
Yeah.
You'd enjoy it.
I know I
And
would.
you'd get
There's
sucked right back into it. And I don't know
there's
how
no
you can be a
question
race
in my
director
mind.
if you're racing.
Yeah,
you gonna
that's-
direct a race from in the car? Or
No,
what?
I'm good right where I'm at.
So I like to know, we like to know drivers' perspectives on things that, maybe non-drivers bring up on certain subjects. But what is your thoughts on do you prefer or do you not prefer? Like last year we had the scheduled pit stop for the 30,000 to win. This year it's open.
I guess it's a double-edged sword there, right?
Yeah.
If you're leading the race and you are very good, as in Joey Dwyer's case, that guy probably could have gone 200 laps on one set of tires and smoked. I mean, regardless, he smoked the field, made everyone look dumb. I hate to say it, he did.
Yep.
He came from the back to the front like it was nothing.
Yeah, he won the Consi.
Yeah, and but honestly, like it's a great opportunity for someone sitting maybe 10th, who's close but not that close, to make an adjustment during that time, and come out swinging for the next 100. But I guess it's the leader, right? Say he's really good, comes in, takes a different set of tires, and is horrible after that.
It definitely throws a different perspective to the race.
Absolutely. But I mean, I don't mind. I mean, they do it at the big races.
Yeah.
I don't care. I just want to race.
Yeah.
So I don't care what goes on as long as it's not a live pit stop because we're not a cup team. But it doesn't bother me. It doesn't hurt my feelings regardless if we do a pit stop or not.
Right.
I don't care.
Yep.
What is the worst hit you've ever taken? Was it the one you backed into the wall you were talking about?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. By far. I mean, I flipped a Bandolero car. I went almost roof first into the wall at Waterford, my Legend car, from someone else, wrecking and not hitting the brakes. And honestly, that was the hardest hit at Speedway 95. That hurt. That did not feel good whatsoever. I mean, it was not fun. Yeah. I just remember going in. I remember that day in practice, I went off into the sand and into turn one. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think I've ever self-spun a race car, ever. Not even in a test session. Like, it never happens. And I remember going off into turn one in practice, and I went right off the track. I was like, whoa, something ain't right. And I remember talking to my dad, asking him some stuff about the car because it felt like the rear end was moving. And he checked a bunch of stuff over. He's like, no, it's good. Yeah. And we went out for the heat race, and I rode around the heat race. I was like, all right, it feels okay, but that I was riding, And then we went to the race, and I was just riding, and I remember going off into one, and the thing just snapped around so fast. There's nothing I could do. I locked up the brakes, but you're in sand. You can't stop there.
Oh,
yeah.
Full speed. I remember that lap too. I actually kind of started to push it a little bit, and I remember I was on the limiter into the turn, and that thing just went woof, right around backwards. And I was joking around all day. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to jump the dirt wall onto 95. I'm going to go race the cars on the highway. I almost did it. Yeah. And that hurt. I remember coming off the track. My spring actually came off the rear end, and it was in the brake caliper.
Oh, wow.
And the trailing arm was completely broken right off the rear end. completely snapped right off. And I somehow drove it to the pits. I don't know how. The rear end didn't come out or move or nothing. It did nothing. I drove it right into the pit stall. I'm like, how bad is it? My dad, I just remember he's running. He's like, we need a clip. I'm like, oh. And I got out and I looked at it and I'm standing there, hands on my head. I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah.
And I was like, that sucks. I was like, our year's over. And then New England Construction Services, his name's Floyd. He's one of my sponsors. He's like, nope, we're not done racing. We're not done. I'm getting you a car. We're going to get you a car. How much money do you need? Da, 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 da. So that he's on the phone with me on and off up until like Tuesday. I finally get in touch with Travis Quapo and get my phase 2 car. So I wrecked Saturday and had a car Wednesday. And we got back to it, I think 2 weeks later after messing around with it. But that was by far the hardest hit I've ever taken. It was not fun. Worst concussion of my life.
Now, you make a ton of decisions in the car out there during race night. What is one that you wish you could take back or maybe done something a little bit different?
Well, there's plenty. I wish I could have done something different. I think every racer has those. I'll be honest, I don't have a lot that I really regret. Actually, I do have one I regret. Mike Parks knows, I guarantee you he knows where I'm going with this. We were at Claremont this year. And I was coming around a lap car, and the way Claremont is, it's very weird. You have the high apex into the turn. And, for me, right, I'm sitting viewing it in my eyes. Me as a lap car, I'm out of the way right away. Yeah. That's just me as a lapper. I know as other people are different, right? Everyone's running their own race. But I remember, and I come off into turn 3 behind him. I followed him for a few laps. And then we go off into 1. And he went way, way high for like a wicked high apex. So I'm like, oh, he's let me by. And I drove to the inside and just comes right down across my nose. Like, I wasn't there on the straightaway, but I thought he was going high enough in the turn. He was letting me roll. Yeah. That was not the case whatsoever. We went down the backstretch. And I remember he come down on me and spins out across my nose. And we went down the backstretch. I'm pretty sure I pushed him halfway down the backstretch. And afterwards, we got into it in the pits a little bit, yelling at each other. And I'm like, after it was all said and done, I was like, man, what if? Because that was the first shot I had at DJ Shaw. Yeah. I've always wanted a shot at DJ, seeing him growing up, watching him dominate, win races. I'm like, I need a shot at him. Yeah. And that night, our car was so good. And I was just rolling. He was pushing. I could see him in my mirror coming up off the turn sideways and stuff. And he was pushing. I was riding. I was like, man, we got a really good car. Like, I'm going to win this thing. We didn't win it. Yeah. We didn't win it at all.
No. But you have those nights, though.
You win some, you lose some, and you learn, right? We all learn.
Put it behind you, move on to the next one. That's all you can do.
Right. And that was whatever. It is what it is. Yeah. I don't know.
So you got some sponsors you want to thank while you have the opportunity?
Absolutely. I want to thank Scott's Roofing. That is the biggest one right now. I got to thank that dude. I mean, he got us back on track last year. Got our whole program back on track. Same with New England Construction Services, Floyd Graham. He was the one that really pulled strings to get me a lot of sponsorship money last year. I mean, he did a lot. He talks to everyone. He's pretty much my PR guy at this rate. I mean, he's trying to get sponsorship dollars from everyone. Prime Butcher, he's another one. He came on board with us last year, and he'll be back with us this year as well. And he's doing quite a bit for us as well. Owens Corning. That's another one. They're huge for us. They helped out getting that car last year, get me back on track. Sanel Napa. And,
Come on, you got to thank Mom and Dad.
I'll get there. Okay, but there's one that Dick Kruger, I'm still going to thank him to this day, even though he passed away last couple months back. He passed away. He was a huge supporter in my whole career, giving us cars for free and everything like that. I got to thank him, even though he's not with us anymore. He played a huge role in everything. And, of course, Mom and Dad, the whole family. I mean, wouldn't do it without any of them.
Oh. Are you happy where you are?
Absolutely.
Or where do you see yourself in 5 years? Do you see yourself wanting to move up? Or you like this staying down this area?
My goal right now, it's just my goal is go higher. I'll leave it at that. So
excellent.
Trying to work some stuff out, logistics and everything, but trying to go higher.
I did the math. It took me like 25 minutes. 17 years in, and you're still only 21. So yeah, I had to do that. It took me a while to do that. Yeah. But you're only 21 still. So you still have a whole career ahead of you.
Yeah, I still think I'm a little old for the the top tier series. They like the young kids up there, but.
All right. Well, Casey, thank you for coming on.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
We'll do this again, and we'll see you soon.
Absolutely.
racetrack?
Sooner than
practice,
later.
I know
Practice
it's
somewhere. or-
It's coming quick.
Yeah, it's going to
coming
come
quick.
really quick.
I saw Joey
Joey's
walking
here.
around
Yeah,
as
he's
if he's here. Walk
Yeah.
in here.
Yeah, I'll grab him. So.
There he is. All right.
There he is. Okay. Hey, you can swap spots with Casey.
A little bit of a squeeze here, buddy.
And now for our next guest.
I'll wait till he puts the mic on before I unmute it.
There you
Because
go.
it gets really loud. There we go.
We're good. Thanks, Casey.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Casey.
Casey.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, what's going on?
How's it going?
Not too bad.
Mr. Joey Pohl, how are you, sir?
I'm doing all right. Battling a cold the last week, but finally on the mend.
I think everybody is.
It's going
Oh,
on.
it's that time.
Still turning wrenches in the shop, going crazy like always.
Yeah. You know, it's slowed down a little bit, but we're plenty busy, and
Is it still just you and Dad and one other guy?
yeah, just the three of us.
Oh
yeah.
my God! I every time I've been in there, you guys, I just can't imagine.
Yeah,
You know?
it gets busy for sure.
Well, that's good. Well, that tells me that you guys probably run a pretty good operation if you're that busy all
We
the time.
try.
So
We definitely try.
that's good. So how's things? You good?
Good. Yeah. You know, just enjoying this warm weather. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
We're going to so we'll talk a little past, a little present, a little future. What you got going, what you don't got going, what you're going to do, and John will have some questions. Mark will have some questions, I'm sure, and we'll just kind of shoot the shit.
Sounds good to me.
You know. So when did you started racing karts? Is that what you started in?
Yeah, quarter midgets.
Quarter midgets, yeah, and then moved right to. Didn't you go to? Did you run any streeters or stuff like that?
No, I went from quarter midgets to mini cup cars.
Yeah.
We ran those at Londonderry Raceway,
Yeah.
Sugar Hill Speedway, and then I ran a 4-cylinder truck at Lee Speedway in 2000. That would have been 03. I think
03?
2003.
Yeah.
And then went to a late model the next year.
Yeah.
04.
So did you? Where did you run the late model when you first started?
I started at Lee.
At Lee.
Weekly.
Okay, so they were running late models there at
Yep,
that time.
Yep, they just switched to like the, you know, the sealed motor and all
Yep.
that stuff was back then.
The ACT type car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, I ran there for a little bit, and then halfway through the year, I kind of started running with Tom Curley in the ACT Tour and going to a few races. I was too young to run the tour. I was only
Yeah.
14 at the time, and so he let me go to Canada and run a race up there. There are less restrictions up
That's
there, I guess.
restrictions, yeah, for sure.
So we went up there, had a good race, and Tom kind of approved me, but I was 16 for maybe a year and
Maybe
a
a few
half,
years.
2 years.
Well, that happens.
yeah.
You know.
And
so.
then, just progressed from there, basically.
Yeah. So how long did you run the ACT type stuff before you moved to super lights or pro stocks or whatever? And I know you kind of go back and forth still. Have you always gone back and forth, or did you ever make a clean swap to one or the other?
We went with the ACT style stuff right from when I started, really, in full size cars, and ran. That would have been 05, and then we did 05 through probably 2010 was strictly ACT pretty
Yeah.
much, and then we started 2011. We got a super late model and we went to that North Wilkesboro race
Sure.
down in that was I think that was 2011. Went down there and that's where we started running the super late model a little bit, but still focused mostly on the ACT stuff.
On the late model. Yeah,
back
because I
then.
remember when we first started Granite State, you guys came and ran a couple races at Canaan with us, actually.
Yeah.
You probably don't even remember. I can see you kind of, did we do that?
Yeah, no,
That was, I'm guessing, probably 2012 or 2013, right?
13, yeah.
Yeah, 13.
That was
And then-
Canaan's last race, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, we ran that one, and then I feel like I think that was my first race with you guys.
Yeah.
Then we went to Lee, I think, the next year, and Hudson,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
started running a lot more.
So when you were getting going you live how many miles from the Speedway in Hudson?
Not even a mile, really.
And you never really raced at Hudson until...
I never did. I ran a mini cup car there once, probably in 2002-ish.
Yeah.
My parents still live on Old Dairy Road, which is where the track
Where
is.
the track is, yeah.
And we got in for free. My dad used to race there, the Bud Light division.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Yeah, it was madness back then.
Yeah, yeah. Well, John's trying to bring the madness back this
That's
year
right.
a little bit. Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
A little bit of controlled chaos.
A little bit of controlled chaos.
You want to bring a
yeah.
mini cup back there? You got an offer.
The mini cups will be there 4 times.
Yeah.
Those things, I feel like, I don't know if they're any different now, but they used to fly back then.
Too
They used to-
fast.
Too fast. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm scared to death of them
Even
things.
at
Those
Hudson,
things,
they would
you gotta
fly.
hold those things
Yeah.
pretty.
Yeah.
At Hudson Speedway, it was like Daytona. We were bottoming out. There's sparks flying.
They still do that. Yeah. So what are the plans for this year?
Kind of more of the same. We got our super late model, and we have 2 ACT cars. One got wrecked last year at Loudon that we've slowly been putting together. It's got to go to Jeff Taylor here pretty soon. But other than that, we have our other 2 cars that are pretty much, haven't done too much to them, but it's about a month.
Is all your stuff distant stuff still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, we got about a month, so we'll pull them out of the N bay and start working on them.
Start working on. I hear you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, are you going to race anything for a championship this year? Or are you just gonna
Yeah, I mean, we never really have a plan.
just
really.
go race to race
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
let it fall where it falls?
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we'll be doing a lot of racing. So
Well, that's good. That's good.
What's your favorite track to run at now that you've run a bunch?
Man, that's a tough question. I've been lucky enough to go to so many different places.
What one suits your driving style best?
I mean, I like Hudson Speedway. I mean, I've only run there probably 6 times now or so, but just.
Which is insane since he's been there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, I like the worn out track. I like being able to change your line around. I feel like you can change your line a lot at Hudson. Making the corners wider or whatever. Or if you're loose, like I was a couple times, trying to take a short entry and tighten the car up. But White Mountain's a great track. Thunder Road's its own place.
What's the difference between running Thunder Road now, between the new pavement and the wall all the way around, compared to what it was back in the day when you first started running up there?
It's a lot different. I mean, honestly, it's they've done an amazing job.
They've done
with
an
the
amazing
place.
job
Yeah,
up there for
I mean,
sure.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Racing there, the environment, seeing all
Yeah.
the fans looking down on
Yeah.
you and whatnot. But as a driver, I liked it without the wall, just because you didn't have to think about it, and that may have bit me before because I've driven off there before.
Mm-hmm.
But it just you could really run.
You
like,
could run
I mean,
way,
you could
way
run the
up high.
outside now, but you could run. I'm talking
The extreme
the
outside.
extreme outside,
Yeah.
and then you would get such a run, out of the corners that you could pull 5 car lengths on somebody if you started getting the momentum built
Yeah.
up there. But it's got so much grip now. It's like being on a super speedway.
Yeah.
You don't lift much, and you're back on the throttle, and everyone's the same, and it's just one mistake. It's like everyone stacks up real quick,
Yeah. Yeah.
and there's nowhere to go.
How many races have you won?
I don't know. I think probably between ACT and Pass and Granite State, I think we're in the 40s, somewhere around there.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's
That's,
and it didn't start right away like that. We struggled, man. We tore some stuff up, and my first full year with ACT in 05, I think of the 12 races, I might have made half of them.
Yeah.
I mean, we drove all the way up to Canada, didn't make the race, had to come back, and we used to dabble around in the K&N Pro Series a little bit with Dave Davis and Mike Olson. We've done a lot, and it's
didn't you refresh my memory? Didn't you go to Pensacola one year? Did you run the Snowflake, or did you try for the Snowflake or the Snowball?
Yeah, we went in the Snowflake. We went in 2014.
Yeah.
And there was like 83 cars that year.
Dude, that race is just brutal to try to get
In
into.
83 really good race cars.
Yeah, and we honestly, we didn't know. We brought a perimeter car. We were the only perimeter car there.
Yeah.
I didn't really know. I knew what a bump stop was. I just didn't know how to really work it.
Yeah.
And
Was it a great experience?
it was because we were fast. Like every practice, we were like top 5 in times, and then I went to draw for time trials, and I drew number 1, and we went out there and it started to rain a little bit. We were supposed to qualify at like 3 in the afternoon. It was hot and muggy, and that track is really temperature
sensitive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it started to rain, and then it stopped, and I sat in the car on the grid ready to go out, strapped in for 45 minutes. And then it started to pour right when they dried it and then sent me out. And
You were the guinea pig.
Yeah, like 8 cars went out, and we turned a pretty good time. Like,
Yeah.
it would get you into the snowflake. Trust me, I'd look every year. My time would pretty much have got me in every year except that year. But 8 cars went, then it really rained, and then it got delayed like 5 hours, and everyone else went at night, and it was like record times everyone was putting down.
Yeah.
So then the Conti started at like 2 a.m. because
Oh my God.
of the rain, and I pretty much got wrecked trying to get staged because everyone was just going everywhere, and I hit the wall. I got hit the wall, and it was a mess.
Yeah.
Then we drove home.
Then you drove home. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Any thoughts of doing something like that again?
I mean, I would love to, but it's just, I mean, it's tough to
It's all dollars and cents.
I mean, to bring your own car down there. You're pretty much going up against cup teams. Not taking
Absolutely.
anything away
Yeah,
from those
no,
guys.
absolutely.
They know what they're doing, but like that's what they do all day. It's tough for the guy that pulls it out after work to go down there and do it, spend all that money.
Yeah.
It's just I would love to, but it would be tough, and it'd have to be the right situation.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm seeing Kissing the Cow was the best win. Party over the weekend was fun too.
Yeah, that was a pretty big one. The Milk Bowl.
Milk Bowl, yeah.
For sure. That was a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's your biggest win ever?
I mean, I don't know. The Oxford 250.
I was
was
gonna say you won the 250, so that's got to be
It's a pretty prestigious race too.
the Milk Bowl, and then we won at Richmond when ACT went to Richmond. That was pretty cool. Just being there. Loudon was cool when we won that one. I mean,
You won some pretty good shit.
yeah. They're all. I mean, anytime you can win.
and it's all been with the family team.
Every win.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Have you ever driven outside of the family team?
Yeah, and 2022 I drove for Richard Moody for 1
That
year.
is right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
But yeah, it was just 1 year, and they gave me a great opportunity. But
yeah.
we do better with our own stuff.
That's pretty cool. That's awesome.
Now, when you're growing up and you're getting into 16-year-old, getting into the ACT late model stuff, who are the other guys in the pit area that you go to and you're trying to pick their brain and watch them go out for practice and stuff like that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I would always try to follow like Jean Paul Sear in practice, or Patrick LaPearl. Brent Dragon was a guy that I would try to follow. But all those guys like Tom Curley wanted his veteran drivers and stuff to take the younger drivers under their wing and let them know if they screw up or do something wrong, and tell them what you do wrong and this and that. And Gene Paul really kind of took me under his wing. I'd say he was winning all the championships back then, and he helped me out a lot. And he taught me to kind of, he would always kind of take from me and knew I would give it, and then finally kind of taught me, you got to push back a little bit until it came down to me and him, and I gave it back to him, and that was, he ran me like a veteran ever since then.
Yeah.
Now, I guess on the backside of that thing, I mean, now we come to 2025, and you are the veteran, one of the veterans in the pit area. Do you find yourself on the other side of that fence?
Sometimes, I feel like there's times in practice where people want to get behind me and just see where, that's how people judge their car. They try to get with someone who they think is going to be good and compare their car. But yeah, it is cool sometimes to see that and play that back in my head, because I was the same kid out there, just trying to follow someone that knows what they're doing,
Let me ask you this. Do you see yourself now? I mean, times have changed from when you were racing for Tom back in 13, 14, 15, whatever it was, when you were saying that Tom always wanted his veteran drivers to help the younger guys, tell them what do you find yourself trying to do that, or is the times just changed enough where it's really difficult to do that?
I think times are just different. I mean, even in 13, 14, there wasn't like, I remember for race updates, you go on Speed 51 and click the refresh and try to watch for that. That's how you get your updates.
Yeah.
And now everything is so right away, and not that that's bad, but like everyone has their own opinion right away.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
sometimes when you see it, you say, why am I going to go talk to that, whatever. But
Yeah.
it's just different time,
Yeah,
I think.
I
Different
think-
time.
Speaking about different times, how do you feel racing out on the track is now as opposed to 15 years ago? What do you see different out there with the group of drivers now?
I mean, the biggest thing is everyone is just so close. Like everyone is very equal, and it's tough to have a big advantage on someone. And there's times people will. I see it more so often these days. Just drive in there and kind of act like you're not there, and just use you to kind of make the corner. But it's part of racing, and I don't feel like, or maybe it was, but I don't remember that going on as much back.
Do you feel like racing has changed now?
I mean, I don't know if it's changed. It's just tougher. It's just I feel like everyone is just so close that there's just no advantage. You got to take everything that you can get at that time, and that's how people drive.
And the guys can still do it the right way. If anybody wants to see two guys race and doing it the right way, it was Joey and Derek at Star in a Granite State race.
That was good.
The last 20, 25 laps.
Yeah, it was
Side by side.
It can be done.
It can be done. I mean, and if anybody wants to watch what I would say is probably one of the best races Granite State ever had, is go find it. I think it's on Speed 51 somewhere. It was phenomenal, and they can show you how it's supposed to be done.
Yeah.
That was a good race.
It was really, really good. So what plans this year? Just bounce around a little bit.
Bounce around. Our first one's going to be probably that Granite State race
at Lee,
the 27th,
Yeah.
and good tune-up for the big one coming.
For the big one, yeah.
And we'll see what.
Now, Granite State's going to go to Chaudier for the first time. We're going to go to Canada this year. Have you ever been to Chaudier?
I have. It's been over 10 years, but I've been there.
Good move, bad move? What's your thought as somebody that I'm hoping that maybe might get your interest to go? I mean, that's
it's definitely the fan. I remember about that place. The fans
are crazy.
I mean, that place will be packed, and they'll be. As soon as that checkered flag falls, you won't be leaving the pits because there'll just be people everywhere.
I mean, I went to, when we were racing Pass 2002, when Tommy first started Pass, we ran the first couple years, and we went to Nova Scotia a couple times, and it's the same thing. The fans, it's like you're the Cup teams.
Yeah.
It's just crazy, the atmosphere.
It is, no joke.
Yeah, it's really cool.
But no, it's a really, from what I've seen in the past few ACT races, like when I ran there, you ran the bottom, and that's kind of where you ran. But now they run like the wall.
All over,
all the way around.
Yeah.
So weird. I don't know how. I think a super late model or pro stock would probably run the bottom, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Are you going to go?
We'll see. What's the date on that one?
End of September.
We'll have to see. It's
Yeah.
not that far,
No.
really.
No, I looked at it. Actually, I Googled it from Claremont. It's the same distance for me to go Chaudier it is to go to Bangor.
Yeah.
It's 4.5 hours.
Yep.
So I asked Casey, with the big races, like you guys have run the 250 and you've won the Milk Bowl, so you guys have like that strategy, kind of getting a game plan down on the bigger races. Is it a different game plan to go into something like the 30,000 to win, or is it just kind of another day at the races?
I try to, myself personally, I try to keep it as just another day, but when it's a bigger race and there's a ton of cars there and you just got to get into the race. That's the biggest thing. I always say I just like the last part when you strap in to do the race. Everything else, I just want to get through the qualifying and all that and just strap in and race. That's my favorite part.
Tyler, we're doing a tour type late model race, opening our season up in April 19th. 100 laps, 2,200 to win. Tyler Morris, he's getting a guaranteed spot for his dad's memorial race at Groveton.
I've seen that.
He says we need Joey there for that race. So
we'll
harass you.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely. We've talked about it. So.
Yeah.
What's the one thing that's happened out on the track out of all these years that's pissed you off the most?
Well, that's a great question.
Like at other people or myself?
Doesn't matter. Yeah, you decide. There's something that's got to stick out in your mind that you still to this day
that sticks out in my mind, but
to this day that you are probably like, oh, I wish that.
I would say I went out to this is on myself, something that I always have, wish I did something differently, but I went to the Toyota All-Star Showdown back in
in Irwindale.
back in 09, and it rained. I guess something with me and rain and time trialing, but it rained the whole time we were out there, and you don't think it's supposed to rain out in California, but it rained. Got like 2 laps of practice in, and that was it, and then it started raining again. So then they time trialed late that night. I think the top 24 locked in on time trials. I qualified 26th and had to run that 50-lap race. It was on live on Speed TV, and Matt Crafton started in front of me, and he came over to me and said, just don't do anything stupid. We should be fast enough to make it in. And I was only 09. I would have been 18, 19. And so went out there and I passed him and caught the leader, who was a straightaway ahead. Top 6 or top 7 transferred in. I just had to ride there. There was 2 to go, and I got to his bumper. And Irwindale, you kind of run the top, and I was ducking low with those big, heavy K&N cars that I'm not really used to driving. And coming to the white flag, we take the white flag. I went to turn 1 and really drove it in underneath him, but he entered a little bit lower, and I kind of turned to keep it off of him and did a lazy spin that felt forever. But I didn't spin. I saved it, but I finished 1 spot out of the transfer spot.
Yeah.
So that hurt.
That one hurt. That one hurt.
Now about somebody else.
About somebody else? Oof.
Yeah,
You're really putting them on the spot.
Yeah. Oh, we don't need names. We don't need names because that's what the chat's for. They can pin down this race and tell us something's had to have been done to you out on that track that you still to this day, when you see them pass you, you think I should just turn into them. You don't, obviously, because you're a clean racer, but it's got to cross your mind.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've been pretty fortunate not to have too many run-ins with people, but I don't know. That when I was younger, me and Brian Kruzak got into it a little bit at Lee Speedway way back in 2010. I'm digging deep, but we've since reconciled, and I have a lot of respect for him. But there was a while there where we probably didn't like each other too much.
What was the one you were thinking, John?
Well, I was thinking about Seekonk.
I was too, yeah. The
Yeah.
Jake Johnson deal, yeah.
Oh,
I don't know this one.
I was about the I think it was 10,000 to win, and you caught on fire.
Oh, that
the
one,
electrical fire.
Yeah.
He was out. He was gonna win the race, and just the thing lit on fire by itself.
Yeah, that one hurt too. I tried to put that out of my. If there was 2 to go, I would have kept driving it. But 7 was a little bit too much.
Yeah, the Jake one too. Yeah.
I don't know the Jake one. You'll have to tell me.
I think that was the following year, and I got a run on him with like 10 to go. I got underneath him a couple times and backed out, and then I got a really good run going down the front stretch, and he just wasn't ready to give it up, and I wasn't either. And he spun out, and I got sent to the back, and I wasn't too happy about it.
That's really what it boils down to 90% of the time. You got 2 guys going for 1 spot, and there's only enough room for one of them, and that's really how it happens.
Listen, as long as I race, and Joey, you tell me if I'm wrong, 99% of the time when something happens on the racetrack, I don't think anybody's doing it intentional. No. I'm going to say they probably use bad judgment, but if they're going to go in the corner and just say, I'm just going to dump him. Does it happen? Of course, it does. But
I saw Brad Babb do it at Seekonk once.
I think a majority of the time it's just the guys using bad judgment.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
I always love when they show you the proof after and they make it fit their narrative.
Yeah.
That's what I always love.
That's what you didn't have back in the day either.
Right?
That's right, yeah.
So you'd have to wait for the paper to come out or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you have a track that you just suck at?
There's one track that I really, really want to win a race at is Claremont. I mean,
You've never won at Claremont.
we've been every time we're
You've
there.
been good. You're always good there.
We're always right there, but man, I've never been able to seal the deal there. That's
Well, how many times are they racing this year at Claremont?
2.
Yeah, 2 Grand Estate races, and we got some late model stuff too. So
Oh, there you go. I mean, you could win it. Put him in a super street. He'd win a race there. Someone get him in a super street. He just wants to win a race at Claremont.
No, he'll do it. There's no question in my mind.
Peter Raby's got some mini cubs he can drive.
He's been saying that about 18 times on there tonight. It's flown by me.
Joe, you got any sponsors you want to thank or anything?
Just Poles Automotive, our family business. We got Rocco's Pizza in Hudson, New Hampshire that take care of all our food for us every week. We always have the best food.
Hanging around your trailer.
Yeah. Note to
That's
self.
note in the back of my head right now.
They've been there with you. They've been with you guys for a while, haven't they?
Yeah, they've been.
Do they ship you food on the go too? So like when you come to Claremont, just double checking.
Were they with you when they were the Pizza Man?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
I remember you being across the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways.
Yeah. But no, just we don't Winter's Pit Products. My buddy Dan Winter.
Yeah.
He helps us out, but it's just really just my dad and myself. We get the cars ready for the races, and then we have our guys that show up
On race day.
on race day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. All out of that. Both of these teams that were here tonight, small family teams, and run as good as you guys do.
It's tough for sure.
It's an uphill. It's a challenge, I'm sure. Like even like running the Granite State Series, I look at the teams that come and race, and it amazes me as to what some of the teams put into their operation financially, and cars and people, and it's
the time is the most important. Like if you can have a guy that is dedicated to working on the car, and like that's what we struggle with is just.
Well, yeah, you and Dad are turning wrenches all day long.
Yeah.
Is Dad out turning wrenches, or is he on the counter?
He's on the counter.
He's on the counter, yeah. Shaking hands and kissing babies, and well, he's earned it. He's earned it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Excellent. Well, we're about out of time.
Anything else, Joe? You got?
No, just looking forward to the upcoming season for sure.
Well, we appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, definitely.
And
Appreciate you having me.
Wishing you good luck for what comes up this year, and your ACT stuff, your Granite State stuff, your lease stuff, and whatever you do. So
Appreciate it.
okay.
Did you want to push next week, or is that a joke?
Oh yeah, don't forget.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Next week, don't forget, we're gonna have Grant Aether and Andrew Morin live on the show.
That's right.
I said it; they have to do it now.
Yeah, they have to do it. That's right.
And if Nick Maniotis wants to come in, come too.
Awesome. We'll see you guys next week.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.